Okay, let's see if we can make this one look nice. I'm going to make this huge. I'm going to make it 400. It's still going to be really quite small. So we're just going to make this into something interesting if we can. So the contrast is going to go up. Copy density is going to be on the lightest setting. Let's see if we can make this look good. All right. Alright, let's see how we go. What do we got? We got here a stamp, a postage stamp. It's really quite small. Just see the writing there. It's hard to read even through this camera or this phone with a camera, whatever. We're just going to put it in the top corner. Going to enlarge it as big as we can. I'm going to make that into a master copy and then print it off. So let's see how we go with this. Nice pictures that you see on postage stamps, folks. They're really quite creative, really nice. I wouldn't be surprised if the artist got, I'm hoping the artist got a lot of money for it, for showing their artwork as part of something that is used pretty well every day. So many people use it still. The old snail mail, still the internet, or should I say email, hasn't destroyed all of the snail mail. Still a lot of people use it, even businesses use it, so snail mail is still not dead. It's good to have snail mail. It does have certain purposes. We can't make everything email. In my opinion, I do think we need to keep some of the old-fashioned kinds of methods of working. I wonder how big we're going to make this one. So the horizontal is going to be quite large. Yeah, but basically, we've got to keep the snail mail. You know, it's still got a place, folks. I mean, you still have to send packages and shit like that. I recently sent a package and had to pick it up from the post office. It's nice to keep the jobs happening too. You know, to keep the posties in work. You know. It's a job that, yeah, it's nice to have the postie come around. A lot of people enjoy that. Not just the posties themselves, but the people who use the services, you know, like to say hello to the postie when the mail gets delivered. Sometimes you run into them and they're doing their job, and it's quite a pleasant sort of an interaction you get with the posties. So, you know, they've got a social side as well, and people like to be social, so it makes sense, therefore, to keep the snail mail happening. Not everything has to be snail mail. I know there's going to be less of it, but I still think it has a place. I mean, I'm sure people like to receive birthday cards printed on paper still. You can't exactly put glitter on well, glitter's not good for the planet, folks, but what can I say? You can't have like a hologram image, for example. If we just get away from the glitter for a moment, but the hologram image, you can't have that on a phone. You need it on real paper. Now, we've made this way too big, but it looks interesting. I like the colours there. That looks quite nice. But yeah, I do. It does have a place, the snail mail. We don't want to get rid of it. We want to keep it. And I'm now thinking we're going to try and crop this image in a more interesting fashion. So we're just going to push it up further. But basically, it does have a place. You know, birthday cards are really nice to receive on paper with handwritten greetings. So yeah, there's still a future for snail mail, folks. Just as much as paper is not dead. Paper in general, I do believe the photocopier therefore still has a future. So I don't want to lose paper. Paper has is a good thing, you know, like it's really, how should I put it? It's better for the planet in some ways than electronic mail or electronics, because basically you don't need to read it on a phone or a tablet or anything. And you got to make sure, however, that the paper is sustainably sourced. It's got to come from a plantation or recycled materials, otherwise it would be considered environmentally unfriendly. If we just cut into virgin forests, if that's the right term, or forests, you know, like rainforests and shit like that, we've got to basically harvest it from plantation grown trees, which I think they already do in some places, and basically you can also get it from recycled sources. So you've got to make sure it's ethically sourced, otherwise paper is a problem for the planet. So we've got to make sure that we do it ethically, and we don't have to worry about e-waste. Paper is biodegradable, e-waste isn't. So an e-waste is highly toxic. So the thing is, most things are designed to fail. And also, another thing to note also is then when something breaks down, when the data drops out, there is a blackout, a power blackout, a data blackout, or an outage, or if the computer hardware breaks down or the software gets virally infected, well, we know that we can rely on paper to come through as a hero to make up for the lack of usefulness that broken technology can't basically do. You know, because if the technology doesn't work, well, we don't have documents. At least paper can be read by torchlight, you know, or by sunlight. Just take it outside. If you're having a blackout in the office, just take the paper outside. Maybe have a torch handy for when you have a blackout, and then you can just grab your books and do some work while there's still a blackout or a data outage. Well, with the data outage, of course, you wouldn't need the torch, but you know what I mean. I meant if the lights went out, whatever. You know, because paper does have a future, folks. It just has to be ethically sourced and has to be managed. And it is a very... And yeah, you can put it in your worm farm and the worms chomp through it. It's really a lot better than relying too much on... Yeah, emails are good and keeping documents as PDFs is good, but you've got to have a backup, and that's paper. So paper has a future, and people also like to read books. So... you got to basically keep people, you know, you got to think of what people really like. And if corporations keep doing things that people don't like, well, maybe they'll lose business. So we've got to keep the paper and keep the postie, you know, maybe less paper and less postage, but still it still has a future, folks. And one day I'll design a really good copier system that outshines all the ones we have today. And that's a long way into the future, but I like to look forward to that. I like to think about it and talk about it. It's really exciting stuff, folks, for me. But anyway, I think that looks really nice. Now we can call this demo quits.